The Department of Homeland Security, also known as the DHS, was created in 2013 in a result of the terrorist attacks on 9/11. The DHS has 5 Homeland Security missions: to prevent terrorism and enhance security, secure and manage our borders, enforce and administer our immigration laws, safeguard and secure cyberspace, and to ensure resilience to disasters. And just like that, 52 innocent people killed and over 700 were injured. On the morning of July 7, 2005, 4 suicide bombers changed the way Londoners would view transportation systems. 3 different places in London's underground train system were destroyed, as well as a double-decker bus. Unfortunately, this was not the first terrorist attack in a major city. Tokyo also suffered just 10 years earlier. In 1995, sarin gas was released in Tokyo, Japan, killing 11 people and making 5,000 sick. There have also been terrorist attacks dealing with buses and trains in other major cities, including Moscow, Madrid, and Paris. 34 million people use the nation's rail and mass transit systems each day. Washington, D.C.'s metro system is used daily by more than a third of the federal government workforce and millions of tourists who visit every year. Washington, D.C.'s metro system first opened in 1976 with 5 stations that covered around 4.6 miles. Due to population growth and an increase in demand for use of metros, today the subway system has increased to 47 stations covering 50.5 miles. It is the second largest heavy rail transit system in the United States. Besides the nation's subway system's convenience and accessibility, it also helps to decrease traffic and move large numbers of people quickly throughout the city. During Metro's daily peak period, 20% of commuters are federal employees that work in D.C. Now, take that into consideration for the following: important people who use the nation's metro, critical buildings and monuments it travels around, and the amount of passengers it carries daily. All of these factors makes the nation's subway system a vulnerable target for a terrorist attack. Peter King, a representative in Congress from the state of New York and chairman, stated at the Homeland Security hearing, "We know how real these threats are. We saw that in New York City there was going to be an attack with a liquid explosives on the subway system. We know here in Virginia that there was going to be an attack on the DC transit system. With that being said, it has been shown that there has been a risk in the past, and there still is today. It is the job of the Department of Homeland Security to provide on our nation's metro system security." So I decided to take a little trip to first-hand show you all of the security, or lack thereof, in the Washington, D.C.'s metro system. I found signs at the stations warning people what is not allowed on the metro, as well as cameras that were located all throughout the station. There are also emergency exits and a lot of signs for how to contact emergency assistance. However, there is no physical person or machine to prevent one from bringing on illegal objects. There is one desk person, but they are just there for your assistance on travel help. They are not security, and they rarely pay attention to those around them. The metro also has huge trash cans and recycling bins, so big that one could easily hide a bomb in it. There was not a single security guard or police officer around. Some trains have cameras in them, but most do not. On the train, they have signs for how to get a hold of the train operator in case of an emergency. Keep in mind, riders are encouraged to report suspicious activity, and I was openly taking pictures of security cameras, and no one reported me. The Department of Homeland Security can improve security measures in Washington, D.C.'s metro system by creating programs to exceptionally train employees, implementing security checkpoints for all passengers before boarding, increasing funding for security, and enhancing their response capabilities in order to prevent terrorist attacks. Programs only get implemented in response to crises that occur instead of being pre-designed by the DHS to prevent future threats. Having programs that include drills and exercises that are similar to a real-life situation can strengthen response capabilities. Assigning security checkpoints for all passengers to use before boarding will secure DC's metro system as well as its passengers. Metro systems are easy to access and low time consuming, which makes it manageable for everyone to use, even a terrorist. How does that make you feel? Knowing that there are great benefits to a fast and simple way to travel, yet fast and simple means an effortless way for a terrorist to kill large amounts of people instantly. With such high populations of daily metro users in the DC area and having no baggage screenings, this makes metro systems an unchallenging target for a terrorist. The loss of time does not exceed the loss of life. First responders are vitally important when a crisis occurs. Training passengers and officers in more realistic circumstances better prepares them. Improving emergency preparedness and response capabilities keeps the DHS on task and prepared so they can react in times of need. However, doing all of this would be very expensive. Therefore, funding is a crucial asset to ensure the safety of DC's metro system. The Washington Post gave an estimation of $150 million funding that is necessary in order to add security measures in the Washington, D.C.'s metro system. All modes of transportations get most of their money externally. There is no extra money to hire more security guards who could plan and be trained to respond to terrorist attacks. It is quite clear that the metro systems do not have enough funding to use towards the expansion of metro security. Now it is time for the Department of Homeland Security to take action. The future of our security in the nation's capital is at risk.